charge.
Ever thought about what oxygen might sound like?
Not really. I mean, unless we're talking wind chimes or something.
Well, that's what we're diving into today. The musician Kurt Holes, he did something really cool with his album, Periodic One.
Periodic One, okay, I'm intrigued.
So each song on that album is inspired by an element on the periodic table.
Oh, wow, that's such a creative concept. I'm guessing we'll be listening to the one about oxygen.
You got it. We're going to listen to his interpretation of oxygen and, well, see where it takes us.
All right, I'm all ears.
The song opens with air so thin, feel the charge, float around, touch the stars. It almost feels like, like a weightless spiritual kind of experience.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And that feeling of lightness connects so perfectly with how oxygen affects us physically. It literally fuels our cells, right? And then it even affects our mood, our brain function.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, remember how sluggish you feel when you can't really breathe, like you're out of breath? It's like oxygen deprivation. It just clouds the mind. But then when we have plenty of it, like, we feel energized, we feel clear-headed.
It's like a natural high almost.
Almost, yeah, like a little bit of euphoria.
Then there's this line, whispers in the wind hear the call. And it got me thinking. It's like oxygen is the reason we can even communicate.
Oh, absolutely.
Without that mix of nitrogen and oxygen like air, sound waves wouldn't even travel. We wouldn't be able to hear each other's voices.
That's so true. It's like this primal thing, this connection. Like, just think about sharing a breath with someone, like a kiss or even just a whisper.
It's so intimate.
Yeah, it's incredibly intimate and all made possible by oxygen. Even music itself, right?
Yeah.
Carried on the air, it's like this shared oxygen between the musician and the listener.
That's a beautiful way to put it. But there's this one line that kind of threw me off a bit. Life begins in the chains, breathing slow in the rain. It's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite match that feeling of lightness we were talking about before.
It's interesting, isn't it, that contrast? I almost see it as like this comment on the duality of life.
Oh, how so?
So, like, oxygen gives us life, it sustains us, fuels us, but then, life itself is full of joy and struggle. It's like there's a weight to existence, even when we're experiencing these beautiful moments.
Breathing slow in the rain. I get it. It's like finding peace even amidst chaos.
Exactly. And then the chorus really hammers home this life-giving aspect. Oxygen in the veins, like a heartbeat. It just keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's so powerful, that repetition.
Right. It's working on so many levels. On one hand, it's literally about oxygen flowing through our blood. But then there's this other layer. Like, it's this driving force, this energy that keeps us moving forward.
Oxygen in the veins. It's like a metaphor for life itself.
Exactly. Now, the second verse takes a turn. It gets almost mystical.
Yeah, it does. Weightless on the waves we sail, in the night leaves a trail, floating dreams set the sail. It's like we're on a journey into the unknown.
Right. And it makes me think about how oxygen, impacts consciousness. Free divers, pushing their limits, holding their breath, they experience these crazy altered states.
Wow, yeah.
And deep breathing and meditation, it can do similar things.
It's like changing the way our brains work.
It is.
Yeah.
Even near-death experiences.
Oh, wow.
People talk about that floating sensation, that detachment. Well, it's all connected to oxygen levels in the brain.
I never thought about it like that. And then he keeps repeating these lines. Pull the unknown. Heartbeat syncs with the tone. Deep space on our own. It's like this constant human need to explore, to push boundaries.
Totally. We're always searching, space, the ocean depths, like we're drawn to these mysteries.
And oxygen is key to that exploration. We need it for space travel, for going deep underwater.
Yeah, definitely. And even understanding the universe, it's tied to oxygen.
Really?
Yeah. Scientists use the spectral lines of oxygen in starlight. It helps them analyze distant stars and galaxies.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay, so we're almost at the end, and that line from the beginning, whispers in the wind, hear the call. It comes back.
It does.
But it blends with oxygen in the veins, like it's all connected.
So it's this perfect merging of inner and outer experience, right?
Yeah.
The personal and the universal. And that's the song's whole point, isn't it? Oxygen, it's not just about breathing, it's about connection, exploration.
It's about this vastness of existence.
Exactly. We breathe it, we share it, we depend on it to push the boundaries of what we know. It's a pretty powerful metaphor for life itself.
It really makes you think, if Kurt Holes could do this with oxygen, what would the other elements sound like?
Yeah. It's like, what stories could the entire periodic table tell us if we could just hear them?
It's something to ponder, that's for sure.
Okay.
Oxygen in the veins, weightless on the waves we sail.